Welcome back. In the chapter of preventive medicine and obstetrics, pediatrics, and geriatrics, in today's session, we are going to discuss about juvenile delinquency. So, we see that juvenile delinquency, the juvenile is a boy or a girl who has not completed 18 years. The boy or a girl less than 18 years is a juvenile, and delinquency is nothing but the deviation from the normal youthful behavior. When there is certain deviations from the normal behavior, normal youthful, since we are studying about one less than 18 years, since we are studying about the age group of less than 18 years, so the normal youthful behavior, when there is a deviation, it is known as delinquency. Clear, guys? So now what did we study? Juvenile delinquency. Juvenile is a boy or a girl less than 18 years, and delinquency is a deviation. What is delinquency? The deviation from the normal youthful behavior. Now we have to study about a very important thing, that is the Juvenile Justice Act of 2015. So we remember the famous Nirbhaya case, the rape case which was committed, and one of the the crime, when one of the member of this case was a juvenile, okay, who committed the crime was a juvenile. So the punishments for the juveniles will be conducted completely different from that of an adult. The court for them and the punishments for them will be different from that of a juvenile. This is different from that of a juvenile. The juveniles will be taken in the juvenile court, and the punishments and the trials for them are completely different. So now, since the juvenile was 16 years and above in that case, they brought certain changes in the Juvenile Justice Act in 2015 and said that if the juvenile is 16 years and above and he has committed offenses like rape and murder, then the trials has to be such that of an adult. So we saw that in the Juvenile Justice Act of 2015, if the juvenile is 16 years and above, the trial, and this juvenile has committed offenses like that of rape and murder, then the trial to be as adults, the trial has to be conducted like that of an adult. This was the modification which was brought, and it was very right, and I hope everybody agrees with that, because it is very necessary. Just because he is aged 16 years or 17 years, we cannot neglect the rape or the murder he has done and the loss he has caused to the society and the family. So we have to completely agree and be happy with this the change. And we see that the delinquency, the deviation from the normal youthful behavior, includes the following. So what is the deviation? The deviation could be the deviated behavior could be habitually disobedient. So those kids who are habitually disobedient, so the parents ask them to go to school, go to tuitions, instead what, they don't go to school, they bunk schools, go join those antisocial activities, and then they start robbing things, stealing things, mugging people. So all of that habitually disobedient kids, and then in the house they are abusive, destructive behaviors in house, showing those tantrums, temper and everything. So habitually disobedient, this is a deviation from the normal youthful behavior, obviously. And those who desert their homes and indulge in antisocial activities, so they often desert from their homes, that is, they leave their homes and go join these antisocial activities of stealing, destructing, and robbing, lying, all of that. They get indulged into all the antisocial activities, okay. So this is the deviation from the normal behavior. Who is a delinquent now? Delinquent is a child who has committed an offense. We are studying about juvenile delinquency. Who is a delinquent? Delinquent is a child who has committed an offense. Okay. So I hope this slide is all clear to you guys. So let us see. We studied about juvenile delinquency. Who is a juvenile? Juvenile is less than 18 years. It could be a boy or a girl who is aged less than 18 years. And delinquency, D for delinquency, D for deviation. It is a deviation from the normal youthful behavior. What could the deviation be? Deviation could be deserting from their homes and joining the antisocial activities, habitually being disobedient. You can see the small kids smoking here, and then committing offenses. And now, very important thing was the act, like we saw the Juvenile Justice Act of 2015. What did they do in the Juvenile Justice Act of 2015? If the juvenile is 16 years and above, and in he has committed offenses like rape and murder, then the trials will be like that of an adult. Delinquent is a child who has committed an offense. So, very clear with this slide. Now, we are moving on to the incidence of the juvenile delinquency. The highest incidence of juvenile delinquency is seen in the aged above 15 years. The children who are aged above 15 years. So, who is a delinquent? It is the child who committed an offense. And when we see the incidence of this juvenile delinquency, we see the delinquents to be more of 15 years and above. Okay, less than 18 years, right? In that, the age group 15 years and above, the major offenses are committed by this age group. Okay, very important that this highest incidence is seen in the children who are aged 15 years and above, and it is 5 times higher in the boys. We see that especially compared to the boys and the girls, the boys are likely to be more disobedient, and they get involved in these antisocial activities compared to that of girls. Okay, they are 5 times higher in the boys compared to the girls. Now we are moving on to the causes of this juvenile delinquency. The causes include the biological, social, and other. What are the biological causes? The biological causes include the hereditary defects. So we say like it's more of theoretical. Okay, this is more of theoretical. I don't think it is that practical. The social causes is more practical and realistic compared to this biological causes. So they say hereditary defects, hereditary defects like in those who are having of the father is a murderer, so this it's running in families, murderers and smugglers and so on. So obviously their kids also will inherit some of their genes, and they are likely to be of that nature only. So because of the impact, obviously the hereditary will also play a role, but more of a theoretical, because the not necessary if the father is a smuggler, the kid also has to be a smuggler. He could be educated and being a very decent member of the society. So the hereditary defect more theoretical. And then the glandular imbalances, if the testosterone levels are too high boosted in the man, then he might get doing into all antisocial activities, so much rage, aggression. And then extra Y chromosome in the men. When there is extra Y chromosome in the men, then they are likely to go into this juvenile delinquencies, because too much of aggression is usually found in them. When we study the genetics and health chapter, we will discuss in detail about this extra Y chromosome in men and what impact it has on the men's nature. Then the social causes, the parental neglect, very important guys. For the most important reason for the juvenile delinquency is the social causes, because there is no happy environment. Happy domestic environment is very necessary for the proper upbringing of a child. So here, when the parents neglect is there, nobody is there to ask the kid what he is doing, whom is he mingling with, who are his friends, what is his companionship. So he goes into a wrong deviated path. The parental neglect, the broken homes, the parents are separated, or the death of the parents, mother and father get divorced, so the baby is nobody is there to actually take care of the baby. The broken home, and stepmother, one of the like typical you have in the movies, the stepmother comes in and then the baby becomes completely goes into crime and everything, because the cruelty and everything he learns from their family, and it has an impact on the kid. So the social causes, guys, very important. You have to remember in the juvenile delinquency, the social causes like the broken homes, the parental neglect, separation of parents and stepmother. Other causes, the urbanization. Usually in the rural areas, very simple, sweet people. But then once they come to urban areas, too much of drugs, alcohol, and intoxication and everything, they will get into all of this and. There the deviation starts and urbanization can result in the juvenile delinquencies, and then the internet, movies, cinemas, television, what they see they learn. So if they watch such dirty movies where they show lots of violence and everything, then that could have a greater impact on the child's the behavior. So once the baby starts, or the kids, they start watching the same things from childhood, they will get more into such things. So the urbanization, cinemas and televisions are also having a greater impact on the child's behavior, and we are very well aware of it. That's the reason we were not allowed to watch mobile phones and everything when we were kids. But then now, since the urbanization and socialization has reached heights, there is nothing as such. All the kids use mobiles, and does have a greater impact on them. So we see that the juvenile delinquency, the causes biological, that is hereditary, glandular imbalances. You can remember the testosterone level too high, too much aggression, so glandular imbalances and extra Y chromosome. Then social causes like parental neglect, broken home, stepmother, separated parents, death of parents, etc. The other causes include urbanization, cinemas, televisions, and cheap recreation, and this sex thrillers, industrialization, the slum dwellings. All of this will be impacting in the will be be a cause of this juvenile delinquencies. Next, we are moving on to the preventive measures. The preventive measure in the first place is to improve the family life. When a well adjusted family can stem the tide of the delinquency. So, the parent should be prepared for the parenthood. We need to prepare the parent to take care of their kids, how to nurture them, how to give love and affection. Most of the parents do not know what they see in their parents, that is how they are going to continue. But then we have to prepare the parents for the parenthood, how to show love, affection, care, how to take care of the kids. And the needs of the children should be appreciated, and they have to be met. And then we have the schooling. If there is, okay, now for an instance, if there is the a baby who is a orphan, he doesn't have the parents to look after him, then the school plays a very important role. The school comes next to home in the community. In order to maintain the behavior of the children, the school is next to home. Okay, there should be a healthy teacher pupil relationship. We have to have a healthy teacher pupil or a teacher student relationship. The school teacher will play a very important role in detecting the early signs of maladjustment. If the baby is causing lots of destruction in the school, the school properties, and then he's showing lots of cruelty, hitting the kids and creating a ruckus in the class, then you have to understand the maladjustment of the kid and then report to the higher authorities, and then take a step towards his deviated behavior. And then thirdly, we have the social welfare services. These compromise the recreation facilities. We have to use the excess aggression and the energy which is there, boosted energy in these kids, into some other recreation facilities has to be provided in recreational activities. And the parent counseling has to be done. If the kid is deviated, if there is separated parents, you have to ask the parents to come and counsel them that their child is getting deviated, and they have to take steps. And then their child has to be guided, provide education facilities, and general health services also needs to be provided if the baby is getting into the other crimes. Okay, and you see the juvenile delinquencies. Okay, I hope it is clear. Let's revise. Higher incidence in the age group 15 years and above. Okay, and 5 times it is higher in the boys compared to the girls. And then the causes, we saw biological, social and other. In the biology, hereditary, glandular imbalances, extra Y chromosome. Next, we have social causes: parental neglect, the broken home, death of parent, separation of parent. The other causes we saw: urbanization, cinemas, television, sex thrillers, etc. Then the preventive measures: how do we prevent this? If there is a broken home and everything, improve the family life, prepare the parents for the parenthood. And then the schooling: healthy teacher student relationship, teacher has to detect and report. Then the social welfare activities: recreation facilities, counseling, sports, and all of that has to be encouraged in the children, and divert them into good things. With this, we come to an end of juvenile delinquency. Now, let us see the MCQ questions. Very important topic in with the point of view of MCQs in the NEET PG examination, entrance exams. Let us see what are the MCQs which have come. So, who is a juvenile? Is one of the question. Who is a juvenile? A boy or a girl who has not completed 18 years. A boy or a girl less than 18 years, not completed 18 years. Next important MCQ is this act, the Juvenile Justice Act of 2015. It allows the juvenile of 16 years or older to be trialed as an adult for the offenses like rape and murder. We have understood that in detail. So these are the two MCQs which I found, and you have to know the causes and preventive measures and so on in detail. Okay, fine. Thank you. If you like the video, hit the like button and subscribe.